Hi everyone, it's Maggie, and I'm here to share my DT box from Crafty Me Shop on Facebook. It's a group, and that's the only way that you can buy from Crafty Me Shop is by joining the group. And the sales are usually every week, sometimes just Friday, sometimes Friday, Saturday, sometimes Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And this month of February is the inspiration for the sales, is the series Bridgerton. And so that's what's going on. Starting this afternoon, there'll be a sale of laces, appliques, um, ribbons, all kinds of things. So there'll be a link in the description box. If you haven't checked it out yet, go and check out Crafty Me Shop. All right, so this is, I haven't looked inside. I like being as surprised as anybody watching, but I did untie it with this beautiful peach ribbon. There's like 3 yards of it, I think. And this is the box. So I'm going to open it up. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to put the top over there so I can put things after I've shown them in there. And then I'm going to set this. I got to find some room. My table is just a mess here. So let me move a couple of things and then I can set that right off to the side. And I guess this is an extra package. I'm going to put that up there for now. And I'll show what's in the box first. All right. So I'll just show you the inside. And then, sorry for the crinkling. All right, let me bring my camera down. I have to move the arm because it doesn't zoom in. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the first is this collar of pearls. So there's that. And I'm pretty sure they're sewn in. Yep, they are. They're sewn in. So just by putting a little bit of hot glue or whatever you use for glue where you're going to cut, you could cut individual rows of this. So there's that. And then there's this applique that has sequins, large flower applique. Yeah, the lighting here isn't that great because I have the curtain shut because there was a glare. Here's another applique. It has sequins and pearls. I think I've had one of those before. And I love these with the dangles. There's this one, it's got pearls and sequins and pearl dangles. So there's that. Some of these I can put there. There's this little curly Q thing. Not sure which side. Oh, it's a side. Okay, so there's that. And there's some small flowers. Let me take these out. This will work better, I think. Okay, so there's some Battenberg flowers. I think there's more, but I just want to take what was on top. There's these pretty purple and a pink one. There's these organza flowers in pink and white. And this is actually, it's a pin with this flower. I haven't seen these before. And then there's little like rosettes. Love those for fillers. All right, looks like appliques are on the top. So there's this flat applique. There's this applique, pearls all over it. I have this one in a couple of different colors. Okay, here's some more of those flowers. This one's different. Haven't seen that one before. Then we've got the purple, the organza, and the pink again. Okay, and then we have this one. It's all rhinestones and seed beads. Let's see, here's another one of those little flowers. Okay, here's an applique. It's like a little dangle applique. Haven't seen this one before. A lot of new stuff. Another organza. Here's a little flower applique. This makes a nice filler too. Let's see. Here's another one. Okay, this is the right one. These are nice for on the side of a journal page. And then we have a larger three-dimensional one in pink. Pink and it's not really a brown. What I want to say it's almost like a mauve color, but that's really pretty. Look at that. Love these kinds that you can cut up to fit your pages. And it's hand sewn, so you do have to glue the back of it before you cut it. Here's another flat applique. This one here, pretty. And then here's a large applique that can be cut up. And the sequins on this are like, what do they call that? The shiny, I forget what that's called. That's pretty. Okay, this one, I think Esme probably hand dyed this particular one. Looks like her, what she calls hocus pocus. And then there's this pink one. That's pretty. And let's see. Oh, this is pretty. A square doily with hand-sewn rosettes in there. My favorite color, lavender. Any kind of purple, actually. And there's one of these. That's different. And then there's this one with sequins and pearls. I think the word I was looking for this other one was Aurora Borealis, but I'm not positive. Here's another one of those with the little, it's a little dangle down the bottom. Wow, I haven't seen this one. This is in very pale pink. Look at how pretty that is. I can see 1, 2, 3, at least 3 ways to cut this up to fit. I'm going to put that in the box where it's large. And then here's another applique. It's looks like it's French. And here's another pink and I think it's silver. Pink and silver. That's pretty. Sometimes I haven't had this one yet, but I've had similar ones, and sometimes I'll cut this bottom one off and just leave this one here if I want to make it smaller. My gosh, that is large. That's huge. Not sure what I would do with this, but again, this could be cut separately if you wanted to. All right, let me put that in there. Here's some more of those rosettes and Battenberg flowers. Lots of those. And I think this one I think is French. This little applique there. And then we have this, love this one. You could actually hand dye the flowers if you wanted to. And even the leaves, you could just put it right over there if you wanted some color. A coffee. There's this flowery one that's dyed. I can always tell the ones that Esme dyes. And then there's this one. They're so pretty. I love layering them. Okay, this must be a new one, I think. At least I haven't seen it, and it's huge. Whoa. Pink and green. I love pink and green together. But look at that. This one. Oh, nice. The middle of the flowers, the pearls, have rivets, so you don't have to glue that. You just have to make sure if you're cutting in between the flowers that there's no thread there. And if there isn't, you can just cut right through, like this one here. There's no thread, so you just cut right through. The only ones you have to be careful of are the ones that have the seed beads and that. Although those look like they're really stitched in there. So you just have to be careful so you don't lose. You don't want to lose any pearls or beads. Okay, and then there's a good yard or two of this little trim. I love this little flower trim. And that's been dyed. Okay, and then there's at least a yard of this one. This here with beads, sequins, silver sequins. And it's stitched, but there's some hand stitching, so wherever you're going to cut there, you have to glue. Here's another one of those green flowers. Oh, there's another one. Here's a larger, what's it? I had the word earlier. Now I can't think of what it is. These flowers here. And then, wow, there's a ton of flowers in here. There's more of those. Okay, let's see. So here we have a very wide one. And there's a yard of this one. I don't have this one, I don't think. This is one of from the CMS collection. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh. You could cover a whole journal cover with this. It's wide enough. Look at the flowers, and it goes so far up. So let me just get this into the cover of the box. And here's I call it a ballerina trim, and it's a double trim. That's pretty. I haven't seen this one. That's really pretty and very pale pink. And I know the colors aren't gonna, I don't think are gonna come out because of the lighting. I forgot to turn the light on in here. And the switch is way over in the other side of the room, so I'm just gonna keep going. And then we have this one in white, very white. There's a couple of yards of that. And then we have this little one in, it's like a bluish green. It's really pretty. Love these little ones too. And then we have, whoa, this one. Look at how pretty that one is. I haven't seen that one, and I'm pretty sure Esme dyed this one too. So pretty. And then there's this one, and this is pale peachy pink. Love that one. There's a couple of yards of that. And then here's one of the ribbons with the ribbon flower and then the seed beads. Very pretty. Cream color, and then the leaves are a minty green. Not sure if that's coming off. I'm going to put that in there. Here's another one of those, and this, and this. Organza. I think it's organza. That's the word I was looking for. And then here's a little beaded applique. That's so pretty. And then we have this one. I don't have this one either. Look at how pretty that is, and it's hand dyed, I'm pretty sure. Love the scallops. So there's that one. There's a couple of yards of that. And then here's another ribbon in I think it's like a pinkish lavender maybe, but that's pretty. I don't have this one. I have a bunch of them, but not this one either. And then there's this one. This looks like a fun one. It's like a dangle. You could put it in between. I think this is the right side though. You can put it in between dangles like I did on my doily book a couple weeks ago. And this ruffle one with peach. And you could put one of those thin trims in the middle if you wanted to. Let me see if I can. Well, let's put this one just to show you. Look at how pretty that is. That's perfect, and the color's perfect. They match. So there's that. And there's a yard and a half, 2 yards of that. Here's another one I don't think I have. And you can, I think you can put ribbon through this if you want. I think I would just do the same thing and just go over the top of that. Not with this one, but with a different one. But look at how pretty that is. Another one I don't think I have. And then we have this metallic one with darker pink. There we go. There's this one. And then there's this one. I do have some of this, and this is fun for going around a page or a journal cover or around images. So that's that. Here's another roughly one. Excuse me. So there's that. So pretty. And then here's my, love this one, my lavender and green, very pale green in between, but my favorite lavender color. I think I just finished the last of what I had of that. Here's one that I don't recognize. Look at how pretty. And it's got little pearls. I don't have that one. I don't have this one. There's quite a few I don't have. Look at, very pretty. And this you would put a ribbon through. I could put that peachy ribbon in. Here's some more Ruffly by the Yard in cream color. And in beige. This she might have hand dyed. I'm just not sure. But that's beige. A couple of yards of that. Here's another little French applique. Oops, getting. And then there's this one. This is soft. It's so pretty. Look at that. And then there's this one. It's the same as the white. So she must have dyed this one. Very, very pale pink, I think. And then she sent me a dangle with roses. This one's pretty. Look at that. Let me get it so you can see. And this is in white. So much you can do with these. They're just beautiful. Okay, I'll grab these little flowers out of the box. I'm almost done. Here's a little bow. There's the little ribbons and another one of those. And that's it for the flowers. And then here's another, this is in white. You can always cut the tool off if you don't need it and use it for something else. Let me get that in there. And then this, oh, I don't have this one. This is so pretty. Look at that. That's really pretty. My gosh. She sent like a yard and a half of that, or at least. Wow. And then this one.